www.999wefm.com. WeFM News online on demand.
Good afternoon and welcome to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Venture into the ozone at Quartz Optical. Get your free eye exam plus free children's frames with any lens purchase. Adults get 25% off frames and lenses when you shop today with no cash. 3 to 24-month credit terms available. So book your appointment online today at quartzoptical.com. Get in on the deals and save now. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Promotion runs till August 31st, 2022. Special conditions apply.
Welcome back to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliment of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, Minister of State with responsibility for foreign affairs and foreign trade, Senator Kiesel Peters, during a guest appearance on WeFM's Issue at Hand program, discussed the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' position on the recent acts of aggression by mainland China towards Taiwan. We hear more from Senator Peters.
We all are following the news and we are seeing, the most recent acts of, if I may call it, aggression by mainland China. They have the one China policy, and our Prime Minister, and we have reiterated as a government that we are friends of all, enemies of none. We strive for a better world. And the Prime Minister has always explained his difficulty with the one China policy, in that the Chinese civilization is a very large civilization, and what you have are various expressions of said civilization, just like the Caribbean civilization. We have a Caribbean civilization, but there are different expressions in the different countries, and we respect each other's individual expression.
Senator Peters said while SVG strives to be friends of all, a line must be drawn when territorial integrities are not being respected.
So we strive to be friends of all, but where one is insisting on not respecting the territorial integrity of another country and their independence, these are principles that we are unmoving on. We stand on principles, bedrock principles, and we don't pick and choose when we apply those principles.
That was Minister of State with responsibility for foreign affairs and foreign trade, Senator Kiesel Peters, speaking on WeFM's Issue at Hand program. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen told Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves that she was moved by his determination to visit Taiwan despite China's recent military exercises around the self-ruled island. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is showing solidarity with the people of Cuba following a fire set off by a lightning strike at an oil storage facility that raged uncontrolled on Saturday in the city of Matanzas. The government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines stand in solidarity with the government and people of the Republic of Cuba and express deep sadness on the catastrophic explosion at the oil storage facility in the city of Matanzas, which has left 121 persons injured, 17 firefighters missing, and 1 dead. Our prayers and condolences are with the family and friends of the injured and affected in this unfortunate accident, a post from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade stated. The fire began during a thunderstorm Friday night, Cuba's Ministry of Energy and Mines tweeted. The government said later that it had asked for help from international experts in the friendly countries with experience in the oil sector. Still on the local scene, today, August 8th, 2022, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves signed 2 treaties on behalf of the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines with the government of the Republic of China on Taiwan. The treaties signed were the Treaty on Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters between the government of the Republic of China on Taiwan and the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the Treaty between the government of the Republic of China on Taiwan and the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the transfer of sentenced persons. A letter of intent for cooperation on higher education was also signed. The treaties were co-signed by Taiwan's Minister of Justice, while the Minister of Education signed the letter of intent on higher education. President of Taiwan Tsai Ing-wen witnessed the ceremony in person. The ceremony formed part of a day of celebrations arranged by the Taiwanese president in honor of the Prime Minister. On to news in the region. The Biden administration in the United States and the Electoral Observer Mission (EOM) of the Organization of American States (OAS) on Saturday congratulated the people of St. Kitts and Nevis on their August 5th election and Dr. Terence Drew on his victory as the new Prime Minister. We look forward to working with Prime Minister-elect Drew to further strengthen the U.S.-St. Kitts and Nevis relationship and move our nations toward a brighter future, said State Department spokesperson Ned Price in a brief statement. The United States and St. Kitts and Nevis enjoy a strong relationship grounded in a shared history and long-standing ties between our peoples, as well as a commitment to democracy, security, and economic prosperity, he added. The EOM, led by the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Bruce Golding, congratulated the people of St. Kitts and Nevis on their peaceful and responsible participation in the general elections. The EOM comprised 11 experts and observers from 9 countries, 3 of whom worked virtually. On election day, the OAS said the team was present in all of the 11 constituencies of St. Kitts and Nevis and visited 100% of the 128 established polling stations. The Jamaican government spent a combined $43 million on the failed campaign by Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith to wrest the Commonwealth Secretary General position away from Baroness Patricia Scotland for its delegation that attended the Commonwealth Heads of Government Summit in Kigali, Rwanda in June. A total of $18.2 million was spent on the Johnson-Smith campaign that started with the surprise announcement of her candidature by Jamaica House in April. Approximately $25 million was spent on the delegation, which included Prime Minister Andrew Holness and his wife Juliet, that attended the week-long summit at which the incumbent, the Dominica-born Scotland, narrowly defeated Johnson-Smith to retain her position as Commonwealth Secretary General. The cost of the campaign and the trip to the East Central African nation was revealed in a statement on Sunday by the Office of Jamaica's Prime Minister. On the international scene, Colombian President Gustavo Petro has called for a fresh global strategy to combat illegal drugs trafficking. Speaking at its inauguration, the country's first ever left-wing leader declared the war on drugs a failure. Hundreds of thousands of people died in Colombia's decades-long civil war, fueled in part by the narcotics trade. The 62-year-old former Bogota mayor and ex-rebel fighter was elected in June on a radical manifesto promising to fight inequality and ban new oil projects. Mr. Petro told a crowd of his supporters in Bogota that it is time for a new global convention that accepts the war on drugs has failed. More than 50 years ago, U.S. President Richard Nixon kickstarted a global anti-narcotic strategy that emphasized criminalization and the use of police force, which became known as the War on Drugs. And finally, in sports, Frankie de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona despite interest from Manchester United, says the club's president Joan Laporta. The Premier League side agreed to a £63.5 million deal for the Netherlands midfielder last month, but the move is yet to be finalized. De Jong came on at halftime and scored in Barcelona's 6-0 friendly win over Pumas Yunam on Sunday. He is a Barca player of great quality and we want him to stay, said Laporta. He has offers, but we want him to stay and he wants to stay too. De Jong has been linked with a move to Chelsea, but is also a key target for new Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag, whose side lost 2-1 at home to Brighton on Sunday in his first game in charge. And this has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. news. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Quartz St. Vincent Limited.
Get the funds you need now, just in time for back to school with Quartz Ready Cash. Plus, if you apply before October 3rd, you will be entered for a chance to win your loan free. That's right. When you take a loan for school expenses from Quartz Ready Cash, you could be the lucky winner of up to $10,000 of your loan amount. Also, when you visit us during the month of August, you may receive free gifts like back to school essentials, gift vouchers, Quartz Cash, Radio Shack coupons, and much more. Visit your nearest Quartz or Ready Cash location or apply online at readyfinancecaribbean.com. Conditions apply. Quartz Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Offer ends October 3rd.
That could have been you. An accident that could have been avoided because your tires had almost no grip on the road. Safety